St. Kitts and Nevis will be on a 24-hour lockdown effective Tuesday, March 31st at 7 p.m. to Friday, April 3rd at 6 a.m. According to Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris in a national address on Monday night, this was necessary because people were disregarding the restrictions of the curfew that was instituted on Saturday night. This means the current curfew regulations will be repealed.
Despite a clear statement that all citizens must stay at home, except in certain very limited situations, the Police High Command has reported that many persons have chosen to disobey these regulations. Irresponsible behavior will not be tolerated. Offenders will be promptly arrested and charged. We will not hesitate to prosecute those found in breach of the emergency powers COVID-19 regulations. We are in a war, and this war we must win. Together we must be united, with all of us doing our part to ensure our safety, that of our families, communities, and by extension, our beloved country. This is not a time for reckless behavior. Sober, responsible behavior is essential. The Cabinet of Ministers has determined that, after consultation with the Police High Command, the National COVID-19 Working Group, the Chief Medical Officer, and the Medical Chief of Staff of the JNF General Hospital, that there be a 24-hour curfew, a total lockdown, from 7 p.m. Tuesday 31st March to 6 a.m. Friday 3rd April in the first instance. It means that the current regulations will be repealed and new regulations made in which no one except the security forces and other security personnel, the healthcare officers, technical emergency officers of utilities, including telecoms, and media personnel will be allowed out of their residences.
The Prime Minister stressed that these measures, though inconvenient, are designed to contain the spread of COVID-19 in St. Kitts and Nevis.
That once there is an initial finding of a confirmed case, the situation worsens before it gets better. A similar pattern is expected here in our beloved Federation. The number of cases will therefore increase, peak, plateau, and then decline. The time taken to flatten the curve depends on how quickly our citizens and residents take all precautions and eliminate chances of further transmission via social distancing, strict compliance with the emergency powers COVID-19 regulations, and exercise common sense. These powers are aimed at restricting the spread of the virus from one person to the next. They are intended to protect you and keep your loved ones safe. Please abide by the regulations. We are working hard to identify, isolate, and provide early care for patients. By minimizing contact, we will keep the numbers down and manageable.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister encouraged persons not to engage in impulsive buying as there is enough food to satisfy the local demand.
I strongly reiterate that there is no need to engage in impulsive buying. There is an adequate stock of food on hand. This week alone, some 57 containers are arriving with food, vegetables, and beverages. The short point is that vessels are coming on schedule every week. Do not crowd shopping centers to purchase and stockpile food that may very well expire and ultimately be a waste of money as you would have to dispose of it. An adequate supply is on hand for the next 6 to 8 weeks. I urge you to please act calmly and wisely.
Dr. Harris commended civil society for their contribution during these times and to citizens and residents for their understanding in spite of the inconveniences created due to these stringent measures. Andre Huey, Skn Newsline. St. Kitts and Nevis now has 8 confirmed cases of the coronavirus. In addition to the 5 confirmed cases on the weekend, the 8th case was recorded on Nevis on Monday afternoon. The patient is a 51-year-old female who is a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis and a resident of Nevis. According to a release from the Ministry of Health, as with all other confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the country, this case is also travel-related, meaning it was imported into the Federation, given the patient's travel history from the United Kingdom on March 14th. The Federal Ministry of Health wishes to advise the public that the patient would have been quarantined since arrival in the Federation. Now that the confirmation of COVID-19 has been received, the patient is subject to compulsory isolation in order to limit the likelihood of transmission to others. The Ministry of Health on Nevis has already begun tracing the contacts of this individual, and these contacts would be subject to strict quarantine and testing, the release said. To report on the other COVID-19 cases confirmed on the weekend, we join Glenn Bart.
As citizens and residents adjust to a COVID-19 state of emergency, Minister of State Wendy Phipps confirmed new cases of COVID-19 in the Federation. She indicated that recent test results returned from CARFA show positives for 5 males and females on St. Kitts, all imported from nearby islands.
On Saturday, March 28, 2020, St. Kitts and Nevis recorded 5 additional cases of COVID-19. This brings the total number of confirmed cases to 7. The patients are 3 females and 2 males, who are all citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis. The female patients are aged 10 months, 24 years, and 36 years, while the 2 male patients are 29 and 39 years respectively. All 5 of these cases are travel-related, meaning that the cases were imported into the Federation. This determination has been made based on the patients' travel histories to St. Martin and Antigua during the period March 6 to 13, 2020. The Federal Ministry of Health wishes to advise the public that these confirmed cases of COVID-19 indicate that all such patients are being subjected to compulsory isolation in order to limit the likelihood of transmission to others. The ministry further advises that the contacts of all 5 patients will be subject to strict quarantine and testing as well, given that they would have been exposed to the novel coronavirus and can infect others during the incubation period.
Minister Phipps reminded citizens and residents of their part in stopping the spread of the highly infectious virus and urged strict compliance to quarantine and isolation measures. Glenn Bart for Skn Newsline.
Protect yourself from the novel coronavirus. Wash your hands thoroughly and frequently for at least 20 seconds each time. Avoid shaking hands and touching your face with unclean hands. If you have to cough or sneeze, do so into your flexed elbow or a paper towel and then dispose of it. Keep a distance of 3 feet away from anyone with the cold or flu-like symptoms. Boost your immune system with vitamins, drink plenty of water, and get adequate rest. Visit your doctor, the nearest hospital, or health center if you or a family member becomes ill. A message from the Ministry of Health and the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA.
At Nagico, the things that matter to you matter to us. Like knowing you're covered when your house gets flooded, getting your settlements quickly and fairly when a fire hits your home, and making sure your business can keep going even after an accident happens on site. At Nagico, we're about much more than just insurance. We're about the big things and the small things that mean everything.
Hey, scan this. Boy, what that stand for?
We are St. Kitts and Nevis Waste Disposals.
Oh, so it's I just rent the big bin for when people clean in the yard and construction project and so?
Yes, we do that.
Okay, so what about septic tank and grease trap cleanings?
Yes, we do that.
Them portable toilet rental?
Yes, we do that.
So what about if I want to rent a sexy bar trailer for like VIP events or my outdoors wedding?
Yes, we do that.
Residential garbage pickup?
Yes, we do that.
Okay. So if my office have a bunch of documents we need shredded?
Yes, we do that.
Boy, I talking to you and you know, but when you answer me, I hearing like 10 people.
That's just the strength of our team working for you. Watch now. Call us at 662-3329 and we'll come and do that for you.
Like us on Facebook.
We know these are challenging and uncertain times. That's why we at Skn Newsline are offering businesses free promotion. That's right, Skn Newsline is offering you free promotions through a special service we designed just for you. No strings attached. To find out more, call 665-7496, 765-7254, email us advertising@sknnewsline.com, or visit our office on Central Market Street, Bastille. Take advantage of this free marketing option at Skn Newsline. The state of emergency announced by the government on the weekend was very evident on Monday, as most of the business establishments in Bastille were closed, with the exception of pharmacies, utility companies, some restaurants and supermarkets. Activity in Bastille was very slow, as only a few people could be found in the streets. In the interest of social distancing, businesses continued to limit no more than 10 persons inside their buildings. This supermarket on Sprott Street had customers lining up outside and had their hands sanitized before being allowed inside. On 4th Street at this Flow store location, persons can pay bills and purchase top-up at the kiosk placed outside the store. Even government offices are limiting the access of persons inside, such as the STEP office on the Bay Road. STEP employers do not have to enter the office to drop off their timesheets, as the drop box is placed at the entrance. Walking by the West Line bus terminal on the Bay Road, very little activity and buses present. On the streets, law enforcement officers conducted spot checks to enforce the rule that persons who are not working in essential services should remain at home. This created long traffic buildup on the Island Main Road in various communities. Some persons were prevented from going forward and had to return home. Others were allowed access. Skn Newsline understands that passengers in some public buses were asked to change their seating arrangements to suit the prescribed order of 5 passengers seated in separate seating. Buses with more than the prescribed number of passengers were reportedly pulled over. Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris stressed on Saturday during a radio interview on Win FM that persons who were not working in entities that were considered essential services were to stay at home, as the authorities seek to limit the spread of the coronavirus. Andre Huey, Skn Newsline.
The St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force is urging all citizens and residents to comply with the state of emergency and its regulations as authorities strive to prevent community spread of coronavirus COVID-19. In a statement issued by Assistant Commissioner of Police MacArthur Brown, citizens were reminded to keep the curfew hours and restrict their movements.
The state of emergency restricts personal movement over the 24-hour period, except for special medical and domestic purposes. Only essential workers, as outlined by law, persons accessing essential services, persons granted permission by the Cabinet Secretary or the Commissioner of Police are authorized to be away from home. The security forces will enforce the restriction of movement and curfew as prescribed by law.
Authorities of the National COVID-19 Task Force are working to prevent the spread of the virus via community transmission. Glenn Barth for Skn Newsline.
St. Kitts and Nevis will be receiving assistance from the People's Republic of China on Taiwan in its fight against the COVID-19 coronavirus. The Embassy of Taiwan announced on Monday that it will be donating 10,000 masks, 4,000 N95 medical masks, and 6,000 ordinary masks to the government of St. Kitts and Nevis. In addition, the Taiwan Technical Mission in St. Kitts and Nevis has been taking measures in cooperation with the Ministry of Agriculture to enhance food security. On Monday, in a release from the Embassy of Taiwan, a video conference was held on COVID-19 between Chimay Medical Center in Taiwan and the Joseph N. France General Hospital in St. Kitts and Nevis. The five-party video conference was organized by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of China on Taiwan for the purpose of sharing COVID-19 prevention measures with Taiwan's 4 Caribbean diplomatic allies, including St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Belize. The topics discussed ranged from protective measures and equipment for medical personnel, emergency intubation, to infection control measures. Participants from St. Kitts and Nevis included Taiwan's resident ambassador Tom Lee and embassy staff, Dr. Cameron Wilkinson, medical chief of staff at the JNF Hospital, and the hospital's medical staff. The release concluded that the embassy reassured that at this difficult time, Taiwan is always a very good partner St. Kitts and Nevis can rely on. The embassy said it will continue to work closely with the government of St. Kitts and Nevis in this fight against COVID-19. Andre Huey, Skn Newsline.
You care about what goes on your skin. You care about the ingredients, organic and natural products. We have Rituals brand, Victoria's Secret, and much more. Discover the collection of prestige natural beauty. There are too many chemicals. Time to change. Go to Lucky's Duty Free at King's Pavilion Hotel on Bay Road, Bastyr. Treat yourself as a princess. Also, Bath and Body Works coming soon. Check us out on Facebook. Open hours are from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Give us a call, 466-7059. Lucky's Duty Free.
Quality Diagnostic Laboratory, your newest partner in your healthcare. We offer the latest in on-island clinical laboratory testing, a comprehensive range of blood tests, urine tests, stool and other testing such as cholesterol and sugar testing, as well as hormone, kidney and liver functions, and many more. Quality Diagnostic Laboratory is located at the corner of Keon Street and Fines Avenue, opposite the Greenlands pasture. Our opening hours from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday to Friday are designed with you in mind. We are also open on Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. for your further convenience. Call or contact us at 465-6657 or email us at info@qualitydiagnosticlab.com. Quality Diagnostic Laboratory. Excellence in performance.
Looking for a clean haircut to make you look your best? Then come to Creative Barber Salon on Church Street, Bastyr. At Creative Barber Salon, you can choose from a wide variety of services: straight haircut, cut and shave, square and shave, children haircut, ladies cut, square, and much more. Customer service guaranteed. Opening hours Monday to Thursday 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Friday to Saturday 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Call 765-0460. Visit Creative Barber Salon today on Church Street, Bastyr, specializing in all styles of haircuts.